Welcome to another update from Elixir's voyage around the world, and welcome to the Tuamotus, the largest chain of atolls in the world, pretty much exactly in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. My name's Max, and for the last 4 years I've been sailing around the world on board Elixir, a Sparkman Stevens Swan 37 with a constantly changing group of friends. Right now, we're almost halfway through our circumnavigation, making our way across the South Pacific and exploring some of the remotest destinations we've ever been to on Elixir. We're currently anchored next to the south parts of Fakarava, a world-class dive site. The plan was to spend as much time as possible underwater, and I think we did a pretty good job. Although we don't carry dive gear on board Elixir, thankfully our friend Brian on board Delos, dive master and all-round legend, took us on a few dives in the past, and honestly it was mind-blowing. I couldn't believe everything that was going on down there. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Join the Patreon to be the first to hear about any opportunities to sail on Elixir. The goal of this voyage is to share the sailing lifestyle with as many people as possible, and we've already had over 50 different crew members join along the way. Oh yeah, you have to like hold it underneath that bit.
Just push back.
Yeah. That's it.
Weren't expecting that.
Got it.
Where are we off?
To shore.
To the beach!
So we've just got in the dinghy to go to shore.
Stop filming. Stop filming. It's embarrassing.
It's been about 25 holes.
Yeah, it's been more than
now.
that. More than that.
We're drifting quite quickly though.
Right. It happens from time to time.
By sundown we might make it to shore. Max is a bit frustrated.
Oh, a rainbow.
There's a rainbow though, so that's good. That means it's gonna rain.
It won't come out.
He won't come out. He's shy.
Camera shy.
Camera shy.
So we are currently on Fakarava, which is one of the biggest...
I've hardly met her.
Fakarava, I've hardly met her. One of the largest atolls in the Tuamotu chain. We've been in the atolls for like 3.5 weeks now. It's very different from the Marquesas. They're totally flat, a lot more exposed to the wind.
The islands are super cool. There's not many people. It's pretty remote. They're unlike anything I've ever seen before. I mean, we're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and you can't even see these islands until you get a couple of nautical miles away from them, because it's just an atoll. So it's reef and sand with some palm trees. There's no real height. They only sit a couple meters above sea level. The sand is super fine, but there's bits of coral. It makes walking around a bit difficult if you don't have shoes, but our city feet are getting a bit more rugged. Yeah, the water's pretty warm. It's crystal clear and blue when it's not windy, but it's always windy here. We had a couple days where it wasn't, but usually it's blowing 15 to 20 knots. It's kind of nice though, it keeps it cool.
It's a really cool place to have Elixir, and it feels surreal. Every time I come outside the boat and see the white sand and the palm trees, just beyond that is just unobstructed Pacific swells. It's really cool. An amazing sailing destination, and no wonder there's so many boats here that have been here for such a long time, because in terms of cruising, I think this is probably one of the most interesting places we've sailed to. But yeah, the Tuamotus have been great. It's interesting sailing because these rings of coral are basically sheltered completely from the ocean swell. You come inside and it's pretty much completely flat. Like, there's a lot of wind chop because there's quite a lot of wind, but generally like the anchorages here are really calm. It's been really nice. And
It's funny because the camera's just like moving around so much.
we wanted to be as close to the South Pass as possible. We had a quick visit in the last episode, however after a few days the wind swung round, making the anchorage very rolly and uncomfortable, and we had to move to the southeast corner of the atoll to find better shelter. Now the wind had died down a bit and we decided to head back to make the most of the incredible diving in the pass. We left at the same time as our friend Brookie Baby and convoyed down to the next anchorage together. It was only a short downwind sail. We towed our dinghies and only used the head sail. It's kind of a lazy way to sail, but we were in no rush. In fact, our dinghy Pippi doesn't like being towed at all. She tends to sway from side to side and scoop up water, so we actually had to be careful not to go too fast. We're moving anchorages in Fakarava, and as you can see, we're convoying with our friend Brooke. nice and close. We're so close that we can even pick up her Starlink and we can have a little conversation as well. We're going to the South Pass of Fakarava. Brookie Baby is a solo sailor and she sailed her boat Brizo, a Trintella 42, all the way here from Florida. She was once a dental hygienist but decided to take a break to chase her dream of sailing around the world. What a legend. One thing that's really cool about this lifestyle is that we obviously both had the same dream of taking our boats to the South Pacific, and now we were sharing it together. It all felt a bit surreal. Everyone's here for the grouper spawning. There's like a lot of boats here. Everyone's divers. You can constantly hear dive compressors running, and there's always dinghies full of divers going out to the pass where there's thousands of groupers waiting on the bottom to spawn. And it's quite a big event. It's either going to happen tomorrow or the next day, maybe on the full moon, like all the groupers spawn. But yeah, it's attracted like all of these boats. There's a lot of boats around.
Yeah, we came here a few days ago from Harifa, which is a bit more east of here. It's a pretty cool place. They have loads of sharks that we've been snorkeling with every day.
There's so much corals, everything's really alive. It's by far the best underwater life I've ever seen.
The atolls force you to live quite a slow life because there's not really that much going on here. The most interesting things are really underwater. So most days we've been going snorkeling, free diving.
We plan to start free diving at around slack water, however it's hard to find any solid tidal information and there was always some current in the pass. We started off at around 15 to 20 meters outside the pass and let the current slowly bring us into shallow water. The bottom was a mixture of sand and coral and there was an unbelievable amount of life everywhere we looked. One of the main features that draws divers to the South Pass is the thriving population of sharks. There were just so many, all lined up, just floating there like they were waiting for something. We'd become pretty used to diving with sharks by this point, however I still had little pangs of fear every time we saw one, especially when there were literally more than you can count. As well as the sharks, there was also many different types of sea creatures living all around the coral reef, making the most of the nutrient-rich water emptying out of the atoll through the pass. As the current gently pushed us into shallow water, we were met with more reef fish than I've ever seen in my life. It was like swimming through a shimmering cloud of fins and scales. I've never seen such a hot spot of biodiversity. It was all so exciting and it felt like we could have stayed in there all day. But then pretty much the worst thing that could happen when swimming in a sharky place like this happened. I think your nose is bleeding a little bit. Oh shit, we better get out. Thankfully, Nick didn't get chomped. These black-tip reef sharks are like little puppies, harmless and more cute than scary, but we couldn't help wonder if there was something bigger lurking nearby.
Brian from Delos took us diving to go see the grouper spawning. It's a pretty incredible experience. There's so many fish down there.
As well as being a very talented drone pilot, and unlike Chloe and I, Nick actually knew how to dive, and he was the first to properly give it a go. The annual grouper spawning event is a phenomenon unique to the South Pass of Fakarava. Each year, thousands of these spotted grouper gather in the pass, waiting for a huge spawning event, where all the males release their sperm and the females release their eggs. The result is a massive cloud of fertilized grouper eggs which get carried away by the currents. This was all taken a few days before the spawning event, and as you can see, they're everywhere. It's like the whole seabed is covered in a carpet of groupers. Understandably, having the right light is very important for these groupers, so the spawning always happens at nighttime beneath the light of a full moon. And the next day they're gone, back home with no plans to return until the following year.
We've had the chance to go scuba diving a couple of times, which has been really exciting. It's like a totally different world underwater. It feels like you're just like submerged in a fish tank or in like a David Attenborough documentary, and you kind of are swimming around with the tanks on your back and you've just got this feeling of like, I shouldn't be here. I have this feeling of getting away with something. But besides that, it's like a very slow life. We ran out of fresh food really quickly, so top tip, if you're coming to the Tuamotus, you need to provision properly. So we've just been like doing a lot of soaking of beans. I spend quite a lot of my time slow cooking dried beans. Even the beaches are like quite small, so you can't really do that much walking, but luckily there's some other cruisers here, so we've been able to socialise a little bit. It's super remote, so we haven't seen that many local people, so we haven't actually had the chance to talk to local people and learn about the islands, which is something I hopefully we'll be able to do when we get to the North Pass, because there's a town there. But yeah, mostly just living a very slow desert island life. Yeah, we've been diving with Brian from Delos, which is nice. He's a dive master as far as we're aware, but he definitely is knowledgeable and has kept us safe. So yeah, we're very grateful and have been on nugget duty in return, which has been fun as well. We've been able to dive when we probably wouldn't have been able to at all. So yeah, very grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, there's this thing called the wall of sharks where there's 400 to 700 sharks at any given time. They're all just swimming against the current. Pretty docile, we can get pretty close to them, and yeah, it's just been an absolutely incredible last few days of snorkeling and diving.
So Chloe and I are not divers. Apart from one quick lesson a few weeks ago, this was our first diving experience, and it took a bit of time to get the hang of using the dive gear. We descended to about 20 meters to the famous wall of sharks. There's a little cave down there that you can sit in and watch hundreds of these sharks swim by in front of you. They're so close, it's almost like you can reach out and touch them. These are grey reef sharks. They're bigger than the cute little black tips, but apparently still safe. They are one of the most common types of shark in the Pacific Ocean and mostly found in the drop-offs around shallow coral reefs. We were obviously pretty clumsy divers. We were quite slow and still getting the hang of maintaining a neutral buoyancy, but we had an experienced dive master to show us the ropes. Up until now, all of my underwater experience had been whilst freediving. Obviously, it feels great to be underwater without any gear, but of course you're limited to your ability to hold your breath, and it doesn't give you much time to take in your surroundings. It goes without saying, but this was an incredible experience. I've never seen the ocean like this, and it felt like I had so much time to take in all the intricate parts of the coral reef, and the closer you look, the more you see. Honestly, it felt like we were exploring another world. As a non-diver, this was a totally surreal experience, and I couldn't believe all of the different species we saw in such a short period of time. And as we slowly made our way back to the surface, it felt like I needed a moment to take it all in.
Oh, cool. What do you guys think? Pretty cool, right? You guys did really well.
Yeah,
Oh, we gotta give high fives.
thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool actually, because we've been hopping through the Tuamotus with mostly Delos and Brooke, and Delos has been super generous to us, taking us diving, sharing their really good chai teas. We've been trading, babysitting with them. Yeah, Brooke has been snorkeling with us and kind of hanging out with us, being our buddy boat for the last few weeks.
We felt super grateful for Brian and Kaza. They're honestly genuinely great people and have helped us out a lot on this journey. I felt like apart from babysitting, we didn't have much to offer in return, but there was one thing that I could do. So the first thing that we're gonna do is make the stencil.
Are staying in an Airbnb near the marina. I'm tattooing our friend Brian some swallows. It's like traditional sailor tattoo. You can have one every 5,000 miles that you sail. And we are doing 14 of them on Brian. That's a lot of miles. I'm really bad at math, but I let you calculate.
Layla and I had an arrangement where I would teach her how to sail, and in return she would teach me how to make tattoos. She left 2 of Brian's swallows for me to finish, and it was all going well until I made a pretty serious slip up. Somehow I let the tattoo gun slip and accidentally drew this random line at least 20 centimeters away from where I was meant to be tattooing.
It's the earth from really far away.
How did you get all the way up there?
That's bad. That's like pressing the boat on some rocks, you know? Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's okay, Brian.
Okay, good. That's good to know. That's not what you want to hear your tattooist say is, oh,
We had all covered a lot of distance since that evening, and Delos had logged over 10,000 miles, so Brian was due an extra 2 swallows.
I got 4:15 to...
Okay, how are we gonna do this? How did we do it before?
last time I did it on the table,
Okay.
I think, didn't we do Jordan on the table?
Didn't we do Jordan?
I mean,
It was a team effort.
Wait, how is it going here?
Okay, so
Yes, me. It's here.
so
Did you do without her?
Honestly, like, the main thing that Max can't do is like ever remember where things are. Have you seen my water bottle?
No, he does ask that about 15 times a day.
Yeah.
Have you seen my water bottle?
Well, what am I gonna do?
just like, I guess the positioning.
Okay.
Wait, so I need to put this on.
Which was the top?
Not upside down.
Oh yeah, I'm happy with that.
Just doesn't want to redo the stencil.
I think it will flow.
Yeah, I think it flows quite good.
Take a step back and let me have a look.
Take a step back.
Yeah, that's good.
So how many miles is it now?
This will be the 16th one.
16th. Oh wow.
Like it could be like a massage situation at the same time.
I think it was those two.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And then that's right.
Don't worry about that.
I can't see any
It just looks like a mole.
There.
It's like a little.
I thought it was more. Yeah, with a hair, you know.
Alright then.
Right then.
I know, there's an audience of like 9 people here.
Maximum pressure. Yeah.
Should I move it somewhere else to sit closer?
Well, nice roll.
Yeah, it's
Layla would be proud.
I need some of that picture.
Those look really good.
yeah, but basically it is what it is.
How many swallows are there now? 16. So that's like a quarter of them that I've done. Those look really nice.
More, yeah. You've done
blend right
20,000
in.
miles worth of tattoos.
Look at those. Well done, Max.
Are you happy with yourself?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Done?
Are you happy?
Yep, I'm happy. I think
As long as you're happy, I'm happy.
yeah, who cares about Brian's opinion?
Thanks again for watching another update from our voyage around the world. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you could just engage with this video, like, comment, send it to one of your mates, I'd be super grateful. If you want to support the production of these videos and have access to exclusive Elixir content and be the first to find out about any opportunities to sail on board Elixir, then join our Patreon. And yeah, check out our online store for t-shirts and tote bags made with organic cotton, water-based ink. Yeah, thanks again for watching another one of these videos and I'll see you next time.